During a hookup scenario, if the girl gives the guy head, does the guy owe the girl head in return? Because this is sort of like a business arrangement. Like, you guys are exchanging. Yeah, you guys are. Welcome back to Three Girls, One Kitchen, your favorite podcast about relationships, sex, dating, and just in general, smart girl shit. Today's episode is a casual hookup guide, so we're going to give you the lowdown on how to keep things casual when you're hooking up with someone that you don't really want to be in a relationship with. We're going to talk about what do you bring with, what do you wear.
Yeah, and also probably like the red flags of when you think you're actually talking to them, but in their mind, it's just a casual hookup.
Yeah. That's awkward. Also, just a reminder, guys, I say this every episode, the fan questions are going to be at the end of the episode, so make sure that you listen to the very end to see if we answered your question. And if you're wondering how to submit a question, I ask before every episode on my Instagram story, so tune in to my Instagram on Mondays to ask your question.
All right, so should we just jump in? So I think probably the first thing is, what should girls bring? Hygiene-wise, product-wise?
Yeah, do you bring an overnight bag if you're going to sleep over?
Well, I think it depends. So you're just casually texting a guy and you've made it very clear you want to hook up.
Also, wait, maybe we should even do you sleep over.
Yeah. I would never expect to sleep over. Like, that's psycho.
You're not supposed to.
Yeah, you're not supposed to.
If it's a casual hookup, you don't do sleepovers.
You don't, yeah.
The one time I had this type of situation, I remember always asking to sleep over after.
See, I think, yeah, I'm a big cuddler. Like, I would much rather have someone to cuddle with in bed than have sex. So if I'm going to have sex with you, I'm not going to be like, peace out.
You're hooking up late at night, right? So
yeah.
I'm sorry, but it's probably past my bedtime. I'm ready to knock out after.
Like, I live an hour and a half away, sweetie. I'm sleeping over.
But for me, though, like, even if you expect to stay, and even if they say, like, oh, like, you can stay, a lot of times I'm a big cuddler like you, so I love to cuddle, and a lot of guys that are just hooking up with you are not going to want to be intimate with you, so they're just going to, like, roll over and go to sleep. I cannot be in the same bed after I just hooked up with a guy and just, like, lay there, like, lonely, you know? So I would just go home.
You know what I've noticed? I've never had a guy not want to cuddle after unless they were cheating on their girlfriend. That if they don't want to cuddle after, that's a big sign that they probably already have someone and they feel guilty, so they won't cuddle you.
I mean, I've had guys that just don't like to cuddle in general.
They just want it to be clear, like, sweetie,
like, this is just a hookup.
We're having sex. I don't like you, so don't cuddle me. Don't be like falling in love with me.
Oh my god!
Because to them, cuddling is a loving thing,
it is,
and like
it's an
that's how
thing.
I express love and like intimacy is cuddling and touchy. So they're like, no, we just did that. We're done here. Good night.
I couldn't deal with that if they didn't want to even cuddle me after. Okay, so let's just presume that they're going to sleep over then, because it seems like you and I would prefer to sleep over, and you would as well, right?
I mean,
or no, you said you wouldn't if they didn't want to cuddle. So let's presume that you're going to sleep over. Do you pack an overnight bag?
I would just do it casually. Like, I would just have a big purse.
Yeah, that's what I've done.
So I've done that before, and I've just, because I'm like, okay, I don't know if I'm going to stay there or not. So I would just put, like, my toothbrush, lotion, you know, like, whatever you want to put in there, like vaginal wipes. So,
yeah, do you bring stuff for, so obviously you bring things to prepare before sex, right? So you smell good, all of that. Do you bring, like, makeup? You know, like, some girls will
Oh my God, yes.
Some girls will want to get ready in the morning before the guy wakes up and then hop back in bed after.
I've totally done that. So I have three staples I cannot live without that I have to bring in order to have, like, the no makeup look in the morning is my eyebrow pencil, my lip liner, and blush.
Oh my God.
So, because do a small purse. I've done that too, but I honestly always just have, like, a toothbrush in my purse at all times, because you don't want to be that crazy.
Is a must.
Yeah, you don't want to be that crazy girl that shows up in an overnight bag, and then it's so awkward, and he's like, why do you have a bag? Like, you're not spending the night. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, guys, I guess overnight bag is a no-go, but throw that shit in a large purse so it doesn't look like you expect to sleep over. Even if you do, you're prepared, though.
Exactly.
Just casually start pulling shit out. He's like, wow, you're, like, really prepared.
Or you know what? I know what I do sometimes is I always keep things in my car. Like, I'll have clothes and stuff in my car. Because in the beginning, before my relationship started a while ago, I would always go over to his house, and I never knew if he wanted me to stay over. And I lived like 45 minutes away from him, and I didn't want to have to leave if he wanted me to stay. So I would just low-key keep clothes in my car. And then if he's like, stay the night, I'm like, okay, I have stuff to say.
I already have my jammies with me.
I'm like, I'm ready to go.
I've definitely done that too. Like, just purposely had clothes in my car, and then I mean, I've had a guy actually call me out. He's like, damn, like, did you like bring clothes or something? I'm like, oh no, I just always keep stuff in my car. I was lucky enough to find this.
Maybe that's a go. If you're a girl or a guy who is going through a hookup phase in their life, maybe just keep clothes in your car, because I personally have like slept over at a guy's house, whether I hooked up with them or not, and you never want to put your heels back on in the morning or the same outfit. Yeah.
But I don't want to have to put my heels on. Normally, I don't really wear heels, so it's not a big issue. But if you wear heels often, please bring extra shoes in your car.
Yeah.
Because
I've done a walk of shame a few
Otherwise,
times.
you'll be walking out of their apartment building holding your shoes in your hand because you don't want to wear them.
Oh, girl, I'll still put them on. I'll just act like I'm going to like my day job, you know. I'll be like, oh, I wear heels to my day job.
So I guess we're packing our purses with what? A toothbrush, deodorant, an extra pair of shoes, makeup, or like for me, I think I would probably just bring an eyebrow brush. I would style my eyebrows in the morning. I'd bring a face wash. Obviously, you should bring protection, condoms, lubrication, all of that.
Don't rely on the guy, because a lot of the times guys will be like, oh, I don't have any right now. No, sweetie.
Ew.
We do.
Do you got to test then?
Oh, that's a smart one. Like, oh, you don't have any? Then I'll come back later.
I actually have a really funny story. I've only been with 5 guys off camera, and one of them was the guy that I've talked about before, who had a girlfriend that I didn't know about. He was the one that didn't want to cuddle after, and I realized after that it was because he had a girlfriend. So one time, because I was actually trying to date him, I didn't realize that we were just hooking up. I was very like infatuated with him. I wanted us to date. He obviously knew that we were just hooking up because he had this perfect, amazing girlfriend that he wasn't telling me about. And so I thought one time, I'm going to buy this really cute lingerie and wear it over to his house. And that's really going to win him over. He's going to want to be my boyfriend after this, no doubt. So I wear this whole ensemble, bra, garter belt, stockings,
that's
underwear,
hard to put on.
multiple layers, okay? And then I have, of course, my clothes over it, because I think it was wintertime here in LA. I had pants on, shirt, sweatshirt, all of this. So we get on the bed. We're about to start doing it. And, you know, he's undressing me. Yeah. He takes my sweater off. Then he takes my pants off. Then he takes my shirt off. And he's like, And, like, he doesn't look happy about the fact that I'm wearing lingerie. He actually, and then the lingerie piece that I was wearing was so complicated. He didn't even really give a fuck about the lingerie. He was just trying to take it off. So it took forever. He kept taking one piece off at a time, and it was just taking forever. He actually started laughing at me because it was taking so long to get me undressed. And it was just such an awkward experience. So if you guys are just hooking up, unless he specifically tells you that he likes for you to dress up, I do not recommend doing that, because it can just turn into a situation where you obviously are trying too hard. And they're not going to appreciate it, and they're going to think that it's funny that you even wore that.
Oh my God, that makes me like scared, because I've actually been wanting to do that. Just like, you know what? I've never done that before. I've never like dressed up in lingerie for a guy if I'm just going to casually hook up with them.
Yeah, I've never.
But now I'm like scared.
Unless they're really into it and they tell you that, I think it's probably doing too much.
Wow.
Yeah. Or maybe just have like a simple like
still like sexy
a cute bra and underwear maybe.
Yeah,
but not it's not like
full set.
Yeah.
Where it's like, I bought all this for you.
And they're like, can you just get it the fuck off? Thanks.
Have you guys ever, or no?
For my ex one time, but yeah.
But that's your ex.
Yeah. So no. I usually just show up in full men's outfit. Like, I'm always in sweats and hoodies. Like, I show up, like, comfy AF when I go to hang out with a guy, because obviously I've had times where I thought I had feelings for someone and I can convince them to like me, you know, the more I spend time with them. And so I just go over there to hang out, and I would just show up in my sweats and, like, a T-shirt, or I like to wear men's boxers as, like, shorts and a T-shirt.
Oh, those are cute, though.
Yeah, and then just, like, full-on, you know, comfy shit. Like, I would show up hair wet in a bun, like, never sexy.
I feel that's probably what's most appropriate to do whenever you're showing up for a hookup, because if you're just, they don't deserve all that effort.
I was gonna
say,
that's
true. They don't deserve
give them the
that.
effort that they give you.
Yeah. Like, put on a little perfume, make yourself smell good, make sure that you're clean, always shower before.
Always
shave. Smell great.
Yeah, you don't want them talking about anything, so make sure you're like.
Yeah, you don't want to be that girl that smells bad.
Yeah.
No.
Because ultimately, I guess it doesn't really matter what you wear, because he's just trying to take it off anyway.
Yeah.
Facts.
Like, literally, the whole point of you going over there is how fast can you get naked in their eyes.
Yeah, facts.
Even though you're like, I'm going to make them love me.
Yeah, but I definitely would put on like perfume because I love to like smell. Like perfume is like a huge thing for me, so I definitely want to like smell my best and have my scent because I always feel like it makes a guy remember you.
Mm-hmm.
So if he ever smells that scent somewhere else, he'll think of you.
Olivia's crazy. She's like, I'm squirting it all over his house.
He's gonna be walking around the kitchen and suddenly he's gonna be horny because he's gonna smell
Olivia.
Olivia.
Just spray all his clothes.
Yeah, I normally just would shower like last minute, like right before I went over there, would shower immediately, be shaved, clean, whatever, put on my baggy clothes, and then I would still be good and clean for when I needed to be.
Facts. All right, guys, so let's get into the etiquette portion. We sort of already talked about it. You have to shower before and make sure you smell good. That's just basic etiquette, is making sure that you're clean before you head over to your hookups house.
Wait, sorry, one more thing. Also, the guy needs to make sure he showered and clean too,
yeah.
because it's not all just us. Like you guys can get musty, and you need to take care of that.
This is for both
Yeah,
sexes.
so I just wanted to clarify.
Guys, if you're uncircumcised, please fucking pull that skin back. Nobody wants to be eating cheese when they go down on you.
I just want to say that my ex-boyfriend
he was uncircumcised.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
But it's really not as horrifying.
Did
as
you
people...
ever pull it back and see that white stuff in there?
No, he was like a clean freak. Like
clean,
after every shit he took, he would actually get in the shower and wash his ass.
I think you've told me this before. That's a lot.
And I used to be so mean. I'd purposely like walk in and he'd be like crunched. He'd be like hunched over like washing. He'd be like, "Babe, what the fuck? Get out of here!"
Honestly,
and I'm like,
I don't know why I love watching my ex clean his asshole in the shower too, because he's always be doing it, just like watching them bend over.
Yeah, like, they just look so helpless. Like they're just like squatting down, just bending over, like scrubbing their ass. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, so he was like a huge clean freak, but
Yeah, for anyone, no matter who you are, please clean it because it can be musty.
And your balls, because I've definitely licked some smelly balls before.
We don't want sticky, musty, no. Like,
shaved or not shaved?
I don't really care.
For the guys.
Yeah, I'm not like, I don't.
What if they want you to like lick everything, then shaved, right? Because that shit could get stuck in your teeth, like I said in the Manscaped commercial.
Yeah. I mean, it just sometimes with my like ex he shaved a lot, but it would be a little prickly and it would hurt me sometimes.
Oh, if he goes down on you, yes.
Yeah,
guys.
No. Oh,
yeah. If he goes down on you,
well,
it
I
could
was
be
thinking
prickling
both
you
as well. Like if I'm going down on him and he's prickly down there, it can hurt me.
I'm thinking about facial hair right now.
Either way, but yeah. So just try to be mindful of that. If you're gonna shave, maybe do it right before we come over, so we don't have to deal with the prickliness while we're trying to give you head.
That's a good one, guys. That's for you. So going back to that, since we're talking about giving head and, like facial hair, how it feels. So during a hookup scenario, if the girl gives the guy head, does the guy owe the girl head in return? Because this is sort of like a business arrangement. Like you guys are exchanging. Yeah, you guys aren't. In love. You're not doing this because you're in a relationship. It's like an exchange of pleasure.
So for me, I'm really weird. Even when I'm dating someone, even in my relationship, like I have to be very comfortable with you for you to go down on me and for me to enjoy it and for me to like be able to come.
Yeah.
So I've only really done that with like the 2 boyfriends that I've had, and even the last one I barely even let him do it because I was so like weird about it. So if I'm having a casual hookup, I don't think I would want him to go down on me.
I'm the same way. I've only had like 2 of my boyfriends ever go down on me, and it took me a very, very long time. So that's just something I don't just
I don't
allow
really,
guys to do.
Same. I don't really enjoy it because I feel sort of self-conscious.
Yes.
Yeah. I guess because my one hookup experience was with that guy that had a girlfriend that I didn't know about. He had a small wiener. And a lot of times guys with small wieners, I'm so sorry if you watch this, but you already know, baby.
Hey, I always say it's not the size, it's the performance.
He was good, but because of that, I feel that he felt like he had to overcompensate. So he would insist on going down on me. And I don't like for people to go down on me. But he insisted on it. So eventually I would let him, and then I would just pretend to come so he would stop. It's not that it wasn't good. It's just that I just don't enjoy it.
Yeah. I really enjoy it if I'm comfortable and I love you. Like when I was with my ex
really
for
enjoyed
years, I enjoyed it. Like I really do. But I have to be very comfortable with you for me to enjoy that. Yeah. But some girls, so I don't want to speak for all girls, some girls really do enjoy to have a guy go down on them because that's the only way you can come. Like I've never came through vaginal penetration, so that's the only way I can.
Is it mandatory for a guy to return the favor if the girl gives him head?
At least, I would say at least offer it. And then
Yeah.
if you're not in the mood, like, I literally will pull you. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
there's
Yeah,
a
he
way
should
to,
offer,
it's better
right?
to offer than to not.
Especially if you want her to come back again in the future. If you want to be able to hook up with this girl again, you damn sure should be polite and offer at least to give her head or do a 69 or something.
Yeah.
Ma'am, can I give you head? May I give you head?
Also, to flip the coin, if she's like me or Olivia and tells you no the first time, please don't force her
my
to let you
God.
give her head because you think that she'll like it. Sometimes we really just don't want head.
I've had a guy who I was like seeing, and I swear to God, he would not stop. Like, he was like, I had to literally just keep pulling him up. I'm like, dude, I don't, like, please don't. And he was like, just let me, just please, like, begging me. It just honestly turned me off. Like, I was like, bro, like, I swear to God, like, please, like, I don't
Please
want
stop.
it. Yeah, so it's just like, don't be forceful. Like, it doesn't always like turn every girl on. I don't know why guys in their head think that it's like the hottest thing and it's what we want. Not every girl's like that.
It's because they know what it feels like for them to get head, so they assume that it's the same thing for us, but it's just not the same experience.
And it's
Yeah,
also
it's
an
not.
ego thing for them, like going
Yeah,
down
it
on
is.
us and
If they're
knowing
really
that
good
they're
at
gonna make, if they know they're good at it and they're gonna make us come, that's what they want. And so for them,
I'm
it's
like,
just an
just
ego.
grab my vibrator, okay? You can use that on me.
Hey guys, we're so excited to be partnering with the app Stereo. We're gonna be going live starting this week.
I'm super excited. So it's basically like a live social conversation app. So it's kind of like a unfiltered podcast.
So our fans and everyone can be a part of it by joining and talking to us directly. We can hear their voice. They can ask us whatever questions when we are on live.
Yeah, so it'd be a great way for us to get to know you guys. So make sure to download the app so you can talk to us whenever you want.
I think tonight we're even going live and we'll be answering fan advice just like we do at the end of every episode. But I think they can actually speak to us through the app as well, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So we will be answering your questions live, giving you advice on whatever you need. And I'm so excited to help you guys out with all of that.
And we're going to be able to answer way more questions than we typically would on the podcast.
And this is our exclusive after party, only available on the Stereo app.
So when you download the Stereo app, make sure that you look up our profile, 3G1K.
Give us a follow.
Yes. So you guys already know how much I love cooking, but I will definitely say that I have been loving HelloFresh because basically you get all the ingredients that are super fresh and mouth-watering recipes delivered straight to your door. And also, guys, all the ingredients are actually pre-measured, so you cannot go wrong when you cook.
Yes. So HelloFresh actually sent us some the last time that we did an ad for them. And me and my boyfriend at the time, we cooked the meal for a little date night type thing. I believe it was a chicken dinner. And I was so impressed. It honestly tastes so good. I don't cook. He doesn't cook. Because like you said, the ingredients come pre-measured. We were able to cook a fabulous meal together, even though we both suck at cooking.
Yeah, and these are like healthy ingredients as well. So if you are looking to, just cut back on calories or you're wanting to get more lean or fit, I would definitely recommend HelloFresh.
The ingredients were super healthy. I didn't feel bloated or sick after, and I have many food insensitivities. I believe it was rice, chicken, vegetables. It's definitely clean eating, most of the meals.
Yeah, they
sent.
are low calorie and carb smart.
And I know that they have at least 25 or so recipes, I would say, to choose from. So you can do
Vegetarian.
meat, I was gonna say vegetarian. You can get chicken, beef, whatever you want.
yeah.
They have for you.
And when I did the date night, it didn't take up too much time. I believe it took like 40 minutes or less for us to cook the entire meal. So we weren't waiting too long for our food. That's usually why I don't like to cook at home, because it takes forever and I don't like waiting. But I would say our meal was done 30 to 40 minutes, which
Yeah.
is super
Yeah.
quick for cooking a whole meal.
And honestly, they even have quicker meals. Most of the meals actually are 10 to 20 minute meal preps. So
Really?
Or meal, yeah, by the time that you're done cooking.
So when you're starving, you can have a nice, healthy, nutritional meal
as quick as 20 minutes.
Yeah, it's super quick. Go to HelloFresh.com/3girls12 and use code 3girls12 for 12 free meals,
That is a steal.
including free shipping. Go to HelloFresh.com/3girls12 and use code 3girls12 for 12 free meals, including free shipping.
So we already sort of talked about sleeping over or not sleeping over. It seems like most girls would like to sleep over after,
Yeah.
especially if you're hooking up late at night. But if you do sleep over, or if they sleep at your house, do you make them breakfast in the morning?
This is hard for me to
See,
answer.
for me, like, because I've actually always, like, thought of that, I am just, like, a naturally giving person, and if this is just a casual hookup, I'm still gonna be the same person that I would be, like, you know, because I'm not playing games, like, I'm not trying to, like, play hard to get or be a chase or this or that, like, you know, I just kind of, like, I don't know, like, I would just be a nice person. I'd say, hey, like, do you want to cook dinner tonight, or, like, let's make breakfast, or I'll make breakfast. I don't care, because I already know, like, if we're just casually hooking up, I already know that it's not gonna be a relationship, so why not just be the best version of yourself?
For me, I would say not do relationship activities together, like cook breakfast together or any of that. However, I think it would be nice if I went over to a guy's house and in the morning he was like, hey, I'm ordering Starbucks. Would you like anything?
I mean, I've had that.
Minimal effort from them, but still just being courteous. Like, hey, do you want anything from Starbucks? I'm about to walk down before you leave, or I'm about to order Postmates. Do you want anything?
Yeah, that's acceptable. But if they go out and they're making you breakfast, that's relationship stuff. And as a girl, if you're in bed with a guy and you wake up and he made breakfast, he's like, would you like breakfast?
It's already served to you. That's
that's
creepy.
like, oh my god, no, that's like, oh my god, he wants to date me. He really likes me.
Yeah.
That might put the wrong.
It leads you on. But I've definitely known someone, you know, didn't want to date me, and they were like, hey, I'm postmating some breakfast, or hey, I'm getting some coffee. Would you like some? Yeah,
Facts.
of course, that's
and
fine.
That's courteous.
Yeah,
That's
I
nice.
think it's courteous, and
I
especially
would like
for
to
like.
leave with the coffee in the morning after I just got fucked.
And
I was gonna say I'm a very sensitive like simp person, so please at least like be nice to me and like give me some food or coffee if you're gonna have sex with me casually.
If you're not gonna make me come, either feed me and give me some coffee.
Yeah.
So making breakfast for them is a no.
Yeah,
if
I wouldn't
they sleep over at your place, but if you sleep over at theirs, I always was like, should I leave right away? Like, what do I do? Do I leave as soon as I wake up? Or do they want me to hang out? Like, what do I do?
I kind of read the vibe, but normally I would just like chill, hang out for maybe 30, 40 minutes. I like to have sex in the mornings. So I would definitely try to get 1 or 2 rounds in and then be like, yeah, I gotta go now. And if they really want you to stay or hang out.
1 or 2 rounds in the morning.
I know I casually threw that in. It makes your day a lot better. But if they want you to stay or they want to hang out, they'll ask you, where do you have to go? Why do you have to leave? But if they don't want you to, like, all right, bye. Like, just casually throw in that you have to leave and you have to go somewhere and just see their response. And then you'll know from there on out.
I have another awkward story that I just remembered from this
She's like triggered.
This hookup that I keep talking about. Again, because I thought that I liked him, but he had a girlfriend I didn't know. I remember one morning I was once again trying to get him to date me. I wake up in the morning, I'm like, you know what? Because he'd always leave for work before I'd wake up. I'd be like, you know what? I'm going to show him that I'm wifey. I'm going to make his bed for him before I leave. And I made this man's bed before I left. And he texted me later and he was like, did you make my bed? And I was like, yeah. And he just didn't say anything.
Oh, it's okay. I've cleaned a guy's room before. And he literally goes, did you clean my room? I was
I've
like,
cleaned my boyfriend's room.
I mean, but I was like,
Or
in
this
my
is
mind,
just
I
a
guess.
guy that you were trying to get him to date you.
Yeah, like I literally cleaned his entire room and he, I guess, thought that was really creepy.
I know. I would always offer that. I'm like, I'll organize your closet. I'll clean everything. What do you need me to do? And they're like, I need you to get the fuck out. I'm like, all right, sweetie, see you next week, same time.
So it seems that in a lot of these hookup relationships, one person, whether it's the guy or the girl, tends to want something more.
Yeah.
How do you keep things casual if maybe one person wants a relationship out of it?
I personally, I'm a simp and I love and cuddling and all that stuff. So I've actually never been able to keep things casual. I'll pretend. I'll pretend. I'll tell that person. I'll tell my friends. And then at night, I'm like, why doesn't he love me?
Why didn't you text me on New Year's? Why aren't you spending Christmas with me?
I'm like, why are there girls on your Instagram story?
Who's this girl with pictures all of your Instagram? I thought I was your girlfriend.
Yeah.
I think you just have to talk to the person.
I mean,
know,
that
like
still doesn't help. They can
honestly,
a lot of people are not upfront enough, and I've said this in almost every episode. Be upfront about what your expectations are for the relationship, because then the other person can never be hurt or upset with you down the line because they knew what it was from the jump. And that's always made things easier for me whenever the guy was honest.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. So, like, be upfront, like, communicate this with them, like, go into it, like, knowing that you are not gonna be anything more than a hookup, and to be honest, it always works best to just go after someone who you just cannot stand.
I mean, I get, but for
Who
me,
you know you're not gonna be attracted to them because they just really fucking piss you off.
even if I know up front, I've obviously had someone tell me like I don't want a relationship, I'm not gonna. I still in my brain could not understand that concept, and obviously I never got mad at them because they were upfront with me, but it still didn't stop me from having feelings and wanting more. So for a girl, like, what would you recommend that they do? Like you said, going after someone a guy that you don't like.
Yeah, going after a guy that you know you're not that physically and emotionally attached or attracted to.
Well, I've been thinking about this too lately because I'm newly single, and I never really went through the whole hookup phase in my life either. And so I was thinking if I wasn't ready to get into a new relationship and I wanted to still have sex, I was thinking you should go for looks for just a hookup, but someone who doesn't meet your values as a partner so that you could never end up liking them. You know what I'm saying? Like someone who doesn't have their shit together, basically.
Yeah.
But is very attractive.
I'm like, well, I fell for someone who didn't have their shit together.
I'm like, yeah, I fall for them all.
That is the nightmare of it happening, is that you could then end up with with a shitty partner because you started fucking them, then you caught feelings. So there's always a danger in this.
Yeah. It's crazy too because it's normally the girl that has to discuss the one catching feelings, but the guys do catch feelings sometimes as well. Yeah. In this scenario,
they just pull away.
They're a little better at pulling away, backing off. You know, we're the more emotional ones, but don't always think that he doesn't care or whatnot. Like it's kind of hard for both.
Yeah, no, this guy who I was talking to, I feel like I have to keep citing back to it, but the one I keep bringing up in this episode.
At this point, he should be our sponsor.
Right, yeah. I would text him long paragraphs towards the end of this thing. Like on New Year's, for example, I was like, you didn't even text me Happy New Year's. This really hurts me so bad. And like he would still kind of lead me on. He'd be like, the next day, because obviously he was with his girlfriend, the next day he would respond to me and be like, no, I do really like you and I care about you and I'm sorry that you're feeling like this. But then he wouldn't give me an answer to the open-ended question of whether we would ever date or not.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I just had like a really like traumatic moment. I think I just remembered that I did have a casual hookup for an entire year.
You did? You did?
Yeah.
Okay, tell us.
Wait, I'm actually like traumatized. Like he literally ruined me. So he was actually the reason he was the reason I moved to LA because he convinced me.
Oh, the same person you always compare to mine.
Yeah, the DJ.
The guy from your work?
DJ. It's the DJ. Yeah. I guess to him it was very clear that it was just me a casual hookup, but in my eyes, this was when I was getting out of the relationship, you know.
So you're looking for something.
Yeah, like I was wanting to look for something. Yeah, a replacement. We hooked up on the first night, and I honestly didn't even want to hook up with him. Like he kind of like forced it upon me, which was insane. So we just basically like kept hooking up. Like since he traveled a lot, I would simp and I would go visit those places and like stay with him, where I'd be like, oh, I'm gonna be in Vegas. Like that's so crazy on the same time that you were, because I would look at his tour dates. And I would be like, oh my God, I'm literally gonna be in Vegas. Like, what are you doing? And every time we would hang out, he would treat me like take me out to dinner, like be so courteous and kind, would like, do all the things that a boyfriend would do. And then every time I would leave, I would feel so hurt. And I would be like you, like, I wouldn't hear from him for a long time. And then I would just text him like paragraphs and just being like, I'm so hurt. Like, I don't understand. Like, why aren't you talking to me? I would freak out. And he would just be like, Olivia, like, I really care about you. Like, you mean everything to me. But like, I'm not in a moment, or I'm not at a place in my life where I can have a relationship, but I don't want you to think that I don't care about you and all this stuff. Yet he would still keep hooking up with me.
Yeah, same.
And
same thing.
This happened for an entire year, where it got to the point that I finally moved here. Like, I was hoping, he kept making excuses like, oh, it's a long distance. Like, I just can't do long distance. Well, my ass fucking moved to LA. I'm like, hello. I'm like, I'm here.
Well, I mean, it ended up working out for you. So thank God for him, right?
Yeah. So, it got to the point where I finally realized, I was like, he's never going to date me. What am I doing to myself? Like, I'm just like opening up the wound that I had for the entire year of him just casually hooking up with me and make me feel like no matter what I did, I would never make him date me.
Eventually you just get tired of it.
Oh, it was such a turnoff. He one day, like, I think we went like months without talking, and he randomly hit me up and claimed to tell me how much he missed me, or like, I wanted to see you. Once again, took me out to dinner, was super aggressive, started making out with me at dinner, like wanted to take me home and like have sex with me. And I was just like, absolutely not. Like, no. You're not about to have a casual hookup with me. Like, you don't deserve that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I definitely, now thinking about it, I went through
Like,
that.
I don't know how I forgot
You
about
remember that.
Yeah, because we compared.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same thing happened for me. Eventually, I got tired of it. I ended things with him because I found out that he had a girlfriend.
Yeah.
And then I'd see him flirting with other girls too. And I told him, I'm like, listen, now I know you have a girlfriend and you have me. Why are you flirting with all these other girls too, baby? Like, I was a lot younger at the time. Like, obviously now, I feel I'm an adult woman now, I would have cut things off a lot sooner, or maybe not have been in that situation at all. But karma's kind of a bitch, because I have seen this guy throughout the past year since I've moved back to LA. Just like ran into him at places, and I know that he knows that he could never sleep with me now. Like, and so it's kind of karma's a fucking bitch, because now he can never touch me.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, he still hits me up now too, especially with, like, you know, me succeeding and doing so well.
Yes.
Like, oh my God, he's asked me so many times to hang out, and I've actually blown him off because I'm so repulsed and turned off by the fact that he just strung me along for an entire year.
Mine was 7 months too. I had 200,000 followers whenever I was hooking up with this guy. Now I have 14 million. Every time I see him, he's like, "You're so successful now. You've done so well for yourself. I love
like, you're
seeing
still
the
loser and
woman
single."
you've grown into." Well, he actually kind of blew up too. Like,
Really?
he was working 9 to 5. Now he's like a millionaire and shit with an e-com business. So he grew up too. And karma's a bitch, because now him and his girlfriend aren't together. I know he would love to be with me now, and but he can't.
I mean, so I would suggest, because I had a year-long hookup, casual, whatever, always feelings.
Yeah.
If you want to avoid the feelings, don't do long-term. Like, long-term is not good.
Yeah.
You can have casual hookup, or maybe have space in between. Don't do it multiple times a week. Don't do it every week. I would space it out, because you will get feelings no matter who it is. Even if you think you would not get feelings for someone, if you're spending a lot of your time with one specific person and also having sex with that person, you're gonna get feelings for them.
That's a rule that I always say. Don't hang out with them over 3 times a week, and doing 3 times a week is still a lot, because there's a rule where if you're seeing someone over 3 times a week, you're technically dating them.
Yeah, wow.
I would only do once a week, and
I'm like,
still,
even that.
Yeah, once a week.
I think it's
still
because,
simping.
well, it's because, like, you know, especially women, I know for men it's different, but for women, we naturally have that instinct to settle down regardless of how you say or feel, you know? And I think that in our minds, we always think that we can, you know, we can tame them, and that we can get them to date. Yeah, we can change them, and we can get them to date us. So that always, like, happens with me, is you keep dragging it out. I drag it out for an entire year because I was hoping that all the amounts of times that we would spend together and have intimate moments, that he would eventually be like, you know what, like, maybe I should date this girl. No, I'm telling you, if a guy goes in, like, if his mind goes into it that he's casually hooking up with you, his mind will never change.
Yeah, you
like,
need
end
to
of story.
accept it.
Like, you just need to accept it.
Don't waste your time.
That's what I always say too, is that most men know whenever they first meet you whether you're going to be a girlfriend or just a hookup.
Yeah, this goes back to the why men love bitches. It's like they'll put you in, there's 2 categories, like a good time or like the wifey material.
And there's
you know?
really, I don't really see that changing. Sure, in some rare cases it does, but just from experience, I really believe that they know from the very second that they meet you whether they would wife you up or not. I have been using Postmates for over 5 years now, and I probably use it at least once a day, maybe 2, maybe 3.
I was gonna say, if you're like me who loves food, I'm usually already thinking what I want to have for dinner while I'm having lunch. And honestly, sometimes like getting in the kitchen and having to like cook something delicious is really time consuming. It's definitely not on my to-do list. So that's why I've been really loving Postmates, because it's super convenient. You get to pick from any place that you want, and it comes in manorly time.
Also, it's not just food. You can literally order pretty much anything on Postmates. I hit up my trusty app and I get my douches, my shavers, all of that. They have everything. I love Postmates.
Postmates can bring you food or your razor, whatever you need, to your door. Contactless delivery. They offer, you can just say leave at my doorstep, and they will leave it there, and you can go out and get your food, get your razor, whatever you need, without having to see or be around anyone at all.
I love that.
And also Postmates has the option to order takeout. So I've actually been doing that and ordering from my favorite spots. So I'm able to actually pick up my food as well.
Really?
Which is super awesome.
I've never used that feature. Is it really easy?
I like it because sometimes I like to be in control of getting my food. You know, like I just want to go pick it up, and you also might like save a little bit of money as well doing that too.
Yeah, so all you have to do is download the Postmates app on iOS or Android, and you're all good to go. Add it to your favorite, go through and see what deals they have that day, because they do offer deals, and
it'll be delivered within an hour.
Great news. For a limited time, Postmates is giving $5 off your first 5 orders for the next 7 days. To save $5 on your first 5 deliveries, download the app and use our code 3girls. That's code 3girls for $5 off your first 5 orders. So download the Postmates app and use our code 3girls. Anything you need, anytime you need it, Postmate it. We have another special offer for you today with Helix Mattress, who generously sent all 3 of us a new mattress.
So Helix is a premium mattress in a box company that's basically suited to fit your needs. And it's also really good because it has a personal quiz that you're able to take and figure out what is your sleeping style.
What do you guys think about your mattress so far?
I personally love the mattress because it came compressed, which for me, I would hate to have to order like a giant mattress and have movers come in and help me. So this was already compressed in a box, and as you open it up, it expands.
They also deliver it straight to your door for free.
I took the quiz and I got the Helix Moonlight mattress. I love softness, and I swear as soon as I laid on this mattress, I melted right into it. And I had one of the best night's sleep of my entire life.
Yeah, I took the quiz, and since I had told you guys I have back issues, I ended up getting and matching with the Helix Dusk, so that's very, very convenient for me with my back issues.
And if it makes you nervous to buy a new mattress, you're not sure if you're gonna like it, and you don't want to invest your money or whatever into it, they have a 100-night sleep trial, so you get more than 3 months to test out the mattress and see if you like it or not. And if you don't, they'll even come pick it up for you and give you a full refund.
Oh, that's so nice. Wow.
And that usually guarantees quality whenever a company offers a long return policy like that, because they know you're going to love it.
Yeah, I was going to say, they're definitely going to be like, she ain't going to be sick.
You'll be addicted to it by then. I've had my Helix mattress for about a month, I would say now, and I'm obsessed with it. Anytime I sleep over at a friend's and I'm not at home, I just want to be home and get a good night's sleep in my bed.
So I personally love my Helix, and I think you guys would too. So if you are looking for a new bed, and honestly, I would just suggest go ahead and get this. You can actually get up to $200 off your purchase if you go to helix.com/3girls. And it is linked below in the description, guys, so go check it out.
It's finally time for fan questions. Do you want to start us out today, Alexa?
I will. So I have one from Andy Lean Bean, and it says, how to tell your crush that you were in love with her. That's actually what every girl probably wants to hear. But I would just be open and honest. Don't be scared of ruining a relationship. I think the best thing that you can do is be like, hey, so-and-so, I do have feelings for you. It's okay if you don't feel the same. I just wanted to let you know that I would like to pursue things with you. Mm-hmm. I know that it could possibly ruin, like, if you're close friends, you could be scared of it ruining things. But I think you just be open and honest, because if she feels the same way, she will let you know. Mm-hmm. And sometimes she may not feel the same way, but when she finds out that you do, she could start thinking and imagining what it's like to be with you, and you could possibly work out.
Yeah, and it's so much better than holding things inside. I personally, if I feel some type of way, I have to tell them. So I definitely agree you should tell them.
100%.
Yeah, because then it'll help you move on too, because if you just constantly hold that in and fantasize about being with that person and they never felt the same way about you, that's just prolonging your chances of getting over them or moving on if you're holding it in.
And you never have to deal with the what if factor.
And I've had guys from high school like reach out to me and like tell me that, hey, like, I just want you to know, like, I've always had the biggest crush on you, and I actually had the biggest crush on them, but I was too scared to tell them. Or maybe because I just grew up.
Is it too late now for them?
Yeah, they're all ugly.
You mean they're too far away?
Poor guys.
Yeah.
All right, so mine is from Stelios.Macredemus. So he said, why do girls like older guys? Well, I feel like that's pretty self-explanatory, because guys do mature a lot slower than girls do. Mm-hmm. So, but if you don't think that way, I don't know. I've dated guys that are younger than me and older than me, but I think it is just the maturity level and just more experience, because you kind of do want someone who has like more experience or like life experience that you would want to be with.
I mean, I've only had 2 boyfriends, and they're both like the exact same age as me within a few months. So I've never experienced older guys, but I have had friends that have had successful relationships with guys that were older than them, because they had already went through their fuckboy stage and were ready to settle down and
so I think that's like a biased thing. Like, I don't think all girls like older guys. I personally have been going for younger people, just because sometimes if they're really old and they're still single, you have to kind of question, why are they single.
Yeah, I've only dated guys 10 plus years older than me since I was 18. All of them have been in their 30s. I've found that it might just be my selection and I need to be more picky in the future. They've had a lot of baggage.
Yeah.
Not necessarily having kids or ex-wives or anything. All of them had been, just single men up until that point, and also had not been in relationships for a very long time. As you guys know, my ex, also my ex before that, and my ex before that, I was like their first girlfriend in like a decade.
Oh,
So
wow.
I don't know if it's just my poor selection, but I've
Probably.
noticed the older men, it can be a red flag because it
Yeah.
means that they have a lot of trauma, issues, or baggage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
very
Or it's just because some guys went through 10 years partying, hooking up with girls, doing whatever, and then they have a successful career in life and they're ready to settle down. That could be the case.
That's
It's
ideal.
either or. Yeah.
But also you have to think, why haven't they been swooped up yet? Like, why are they
Yeah.
just sitting there waiting for your
Maybe
taking
they just got ready yesterday.
at the ripe age of 35.
They just got ready yesterday and they've been waiting for you to walk in that door,
Yep.
Lana. They're like, where's my Lana? I'm ready to go.
Well, that would be nice.
Yeah, I'm like, same.
My question is, how do I pick the right man if I'm in a love triangle? So, most people would tell you some bullshit like follow your heart. You pick pick the one that you love the most. I realized this year, love really doesn't mean anything. Love is, and a lot of people are going to hate me for that. They're going to hate me, but love in a romantic relationship starts with infatuation. Infatuation only lasts 1 to 2 years. Past that love that you're feeling is going to fizzle out and it's not going to be there anymore.
It's going to be a different love.
Yeah, a deeper love, which we've talked about before, which I believe that deeper love is not being in love. It's loving someone, really, truly loving them and being there for them no matter what. So the feeling of being in love and infatuation, you're going to judge these relationships from the beginning of which one you're more drawn to based on that. I believe that's wrong. Speaking from experience, my own experience, I believe you should look for compatibility and who would be a better partner in the long run. Because right now you could choose the person that, yes, you feel stronger for, but the other person you could have more similar life views with and have a more fulfilling relationship in the long run because you both want to have kids. You both want to get married. You both live the same lifestyle. You guys eat healthy. You go to bed at 9 p.m. You both love running. What are some other examples? Just, I would go with the one who is most similar to you and the lifestyle that you want, that you could build a future with. Because at the end of the day, it is actually statistically proven that people who are more compatible, their relationships will last longer versus people who are more in love.
Yeah.
I was going to say that as literally what I went through like a month ago, a love triangle. Because remember, I was having a hard time like figuring out like who do I really want to be with. And, I had a couple of guys that I was interested in, and one just always stuck out the most, even though he was the least successful or whatever. Like, some things that we like have standards or expectations. Like a girl was like, oh, like I want someone as successful as me. I want them to be as good looking. You know what? The other guy was better looking to me, was more successful, and he was the least person that I actually saw myself in a relationship with because there were so many red flags about him that we were not compatible. He was too sarcastic. He was constantly rude. He told me how cheap he was and complained about taking me out on a date. Those were things that I was like, you know what? That's not going to work out.
Yeah. I would suggest choose the person that you can visualize yourself with in 10 years.
In the long run, yeah.
Having kids with. Who do you think will be there to when you're sick? Who will support you? Who do whatever?
That makes you laugh and just
Yeah,
make you
don't
makes you feel good.
The person
Well, I mean,
that is just hot and good in bed.
Anyone can make you laugh.
No, he didn't.
My ex was hilarious, and there was so much love. But at the end of the day, the reason why our relationship failed was because we see the world and the things that we want so differently. And so whenever you pass that 1 year mark, that 2 year mark, sure, there could still be a little love and infatuation left, but really what it's going to come down to is how compatible you guys are.
Yeah. I would say choose the one that you can visualize taking care of you and genuinely loving you and your feelings when you're down and when you need someone the most, not who's the most fun, the hottest, and
most successful.
Yeah, and who's going to be able to afford your lifestyle.
It's hard not to be blinded by that. Now being single again, there are so many people sliding into my DMs, famous basketball players, famous this, famous that. And I have to remember, like, sorting through all these options that I have, that despite that they have huge houses and they're this and they're that, and it's like a girl's dream to marry someone like that. If they're still partying every weekend, they're still, just being crazy and wild. That's why me and my ex broke up. I'm not going to get back into that with someone else just because they're successful. Yeah. So it's hard not to be blinded by people's looks and those exterior things, but really try to see what makes that person who they are and go off of that.
Mm-hmm. What can they do for your soul?
We were really passionate about this one, guys.
Well, I mean, I just went through this, so it was
I know. I did too, so I get it.
I didn't.
I was
in a relationship, but I literally talked to no one, so that's fun.
Well, guys, make sure that if you're watching this on YouTube, you head over to Apple, subscribe to us on there too. You can listen up to 3 days sooner. We also have audio-only exclusive episodes on Apple, so make sure that you go check those out.
So just a reminder, we are partnering with Stereo, and if you want to talk to us, join there. It will be live.
Yeah, after party, don't miss out.
You can find our account as 3G1K on the Stereo app. Make sure to follow us. Thanks for watching. Tune in next time. Subscribe, like it. Don't leave mean comments. That's fucking rude.
Yeah. Bye.
She's like, bye.